Hey everybody, what's up? How you doing? 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 Anyway, what's up? So there's a lot of information in the TWAB. A lot of information. Oh my god. All right, so we're gonna break down. I'll break down my highlights, or the things as we get into Crucible and we do mayhem and I get my butt kicked. And then I realize that I should change characters because I need to be on my hunter because he still needs wins. A professional YouTuber. So the first thing that I really want to highlight is, and this is both great and sad, but Trials is going away for all of season 4. It's being put on hiatus. So Trials of the Nine is going to be on hiatus from the launch of Forsaken for presumably 3 months until Season 5 launches, which is probably going to coincide with one of the first big expansions, or maybe, the first of the annual content. This is something you're probably going to have a strong opinion about, and that is okay. So I am personally happy about it. I think that Trials needed to be adjusted. I absolutely love, I love everything about what Trials could be in, or was, I guess, in Destiny 1. And Destiny 2, it just felt like a failure to deliver. Everyone was really excited when they announced, like, oh hey, Trials is coming back in Destiny 2, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And when it launched, it was just more of the same, and we as a community have been enjoying Trials for 3 years already, and I think that the high-end PvP needed something new that wasn't Trials, that wasn't Iron Banner. Trials obviously has a strong place in the lore, especially now that the 9 have been introduced into it. But I think refining the structure, whether it's bringing back 3v3 elimination and just making it that, whether it's making it always an objective-based mode instead of a slaying-based mode or whatever. I'm not smart enough to know the solution to this. I just know that there was definitely a kind of a failure to deliver on the Trials experience that everyone was looking forward to, which is unfortunate. On Twitch, I saw a lot of channels suffer because of that. These are people who built their brands on being incredible at Destiny, and the PvP fundamentally changed so much, and Trials was so much the same that it lost a lot of its shine. Thankfully, a lot of folks have moved on to other games, Fortnite, and have found some success there, and that makes me really, really happy. So I'm happy Trials is on a hiatus. I hope they take the 3 months to reorient it. 3 months is a guess, by the way. That's not in the TWAB anywhere. And they rework that, and it turns into something that's absolutely incredible. I'm looking forward to it, man. Especially after seeing the PvP stream. Wow. Just wow. Speaking of which, let's review that. The PvP stream, or the combat stream, because I guess they didn't just address PvP, they addressed combat as well. It looked incredible. The combat in Destiny 2, for lack of a better word, was slow. And that slow combat in Destiny 2 really drove people away. Watching, and we can talk about this critique as well. Watching the people who are not the best at Crucible, Cosmo, I love you, Cosmo, but Cosmo, play, and still, like, watching matches that feel exciting, motivated, like they're moving quickly, even though you might not have the best players in the world, is actually a great sign. It means that when you have the best players in the world, when you have tournaments, we're going to see really awesome high skill play, and that makes me incredibly excited, because if the gameplay is fast enough for people who aren't the best to look awesome, then it's probably going to look really great when awesome people play it. that had me really excited. The fact that hand cannons can 3-tap, the structure and the way bows work seems to be incredibly interesting, and I can't wait to get my hands on a bow. Supers actually feeling super, abilities mattering more. 2-hit melees coming back is huge. 1-hit shoulder charge melees coming back, things like that. Like, abilities that feel like abilities coming back it's a big deal. It doesn't feel like your melee override doesn't feel like a chump move that steals, skill from you. Like that you're just like, why did I do that? That was pointless. It actually turns into something that you can use to fight. You can use grenades to close and open fights. You can, some of my buds, my raid buds, you probably know, Char and Gunny and Goth, they all love, they love the 2-hit melee system, and when it went away, they lost one of their favorite pastimes, which was the super melee nade challenge. Right? So I'm sure you've heard of that before, so that'll be coming back. Things like that are really, really exciting. What else? Oh, man, there was so many changes. The changes to the milestones, I think, are really meaningful. So the milestones basically in Destiny 2 have been like, this is the only way you can get stronger. And that's it. See you next reset. Thanks for playing. They made really specific notes, not just of stating like, hey, look, these are the places you can get powerful rewards, and this is the change on the structure. But they said there's going to be more than one way. There's going to be more than one way for you to get powerful rewards, and some of them are not going to be linked to the weekly reset. And I think that's a great move. People are looking for ways to play all week, every day. Now, whether that's more stuff like Whisper of the Worm, which we have seen Whisper of the Worm and the Whisper Quest is iterated at a... it's idiosyncratic. It is not the same as what everyone's used to. It doesn't run for the same length of time as Trials. It doesn't run for the same length of time as a weekly reset. And I think we can probably expect some other quests to be like that as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing like what this stuff is, and what it's going to bring for the future of Destiny. I like the idea that they're building it so that you're always going to have something to play. You're always going to have a reason to come in and play. That's their goal. They said they're going to be trying to bring the hobby back over and over and over again. That's their goal, is to bring back the hobby of the game. And I think that, that one thing in particular, not just the things that I've been suggesting for a long time, which would be, changes to the progression economy and things like that, which we will talk about since they did make big changes to the progression economy as well. But doing things that were unexpected, like unbinding power progression from the weekly reset and things like that. Or at least having some options there that aren't bound to the weekly reset. So that's awesome. And progression. So one of the things that they mentioned, and this is huge, is tokens are going to go away and be replaced by differing amounts of planetary materials, and planetary materials are going to become part of the fusion process to infuse gear. Now, I am a huge fan of this as we get our ass kicked. I'm a big fan of this. One of the things that is the problem with Destiny, or became a problem with Destiny, was once destination materials became unimportant to the progression of your character, in Destiny 1 this happened. You never went back to go on patrol. You never did adventures. You never did all this other stuff. And they've done a great job with pushing you into flashpoints and things like that. So you still experience the game world, and it makes it feel holistic. But this idea of, you're going to need to go on patrol, you're going to get, let's say, and this is all hypothetical, chat. This is all hypothetical, but let's say, you got your path forward and you really want to infuse it up to 482. And in order to do that, it's an Iron Banner weapon. So, this particular Iron Banner weapon is going to take Dusklight crystals. So you have to go and you have to do patrols until you have 10 Dusklight crystals, and that's how you do Infusion. This makes Infusion cost time. So even if infusion is still 1-to-1, you're going to have to invest time in order to infuse stuff up. And if you're burning, let's say 10 Dusklight crystals, even if your tokens get transitioned into them, you're going to go through that really fast just trying to pull up your old gear. And they did mention that the older gear is going to have a higher cost. I think you can rake me over the coals if that's wrong. But I'm really excited to see how that is, because one of my biggest fears with them keeping 1-to-1 infusion was that power progression can move too quickly. And one way to slow that down is to make infusion not 1-to-1, which I think they're keeping it that way. But the other way, which I didn't even consider, was making it cost you more in order to infuse. Basically, player choice has to mean something, and it has to cost time. Time is the currency in my mind in any video game. Time is your currency. It's what people sell back to you when, you know, you're paying for power or something else. So I really think and hope and pray that the change to infusion cost, you know, the getting rid of tokens and the getting rid of tokens, and more importantly, the introduction of a higher cost for infusion is really going to drive player choice to make it more interesting throughout all of Forsaken and hopefully the rest of Destiny's future. I feel like, and I guess I'll sum my thoughts up like this as I burp in a microphone. Enjoy that. I'll sum my thoughts up like this. I think that the launch of Destiny 2 was a massive risk, and you can go back and watch my streams, and this is what I said. I said, you know, when it came out and everyone's like, it moves slow and there's team shotting and there's all this other stuff that we've all come together as a community and agree that we didn't like, right? Even all of that stuff in the beginning, I said, this is an experiment, and sometimes experiments fail. And I think we can all agree, ouch. Okay. But, out of the ping ponging to the exact opposite side of the board that happened, we are getting this newly refined result that seems a little bit closer to center on all player scopes and everyone's side. And I'm really looking forward to it. Things I still want in-game LFG. You know, I think that for a lot of the casual players, and casual doesn't mean that you don't like to do hard things. It just means that you don't have a lot of time, in my mind. You know, casual players need to be able to access end-game stuff via in-game mechanics and options. You know, if you want to raid with some people, you should be able to go into a menu and set up a raid. You know, if you want to do trials, you should be able to go into a menu and set up trials. That sort of stuff. So, like, I think there are still quality of life improvements that are due to everyone and should be hopefully on the way soon. But unlike every other DLC where, you know, like I was really, really looking for things to be optimistic about, or not expecting longevity out of them, I finally do really feel super hopeful about the delivery of Forsaken, and of course we'll see, and I could be totally wrong, and if I'm wrong, we'll have a nice video like, guess what, guys, I was wrong. But hey, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. You gotta put your opinions out there. So yeah, there you go, everybody. That's my TWAB review. Wrapping it up. Trials on hiatus. Power progression more staggered. And infusion, things like that, dramatically changed, which is in my mind a great thing. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Let me know what you think. You can let me know here. You know, you can do the rate, comment, subscribe stuff, or you can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'm at ProfessorBroman everywhere. A lot of you have been asking about the Ask Broman videos and podcasts. Those will be coming back. I have recovered from Guardian Con. We're working on stuff now. And I just, you know, as always, when I'm tired, I give shitty advice. So I wanted to make sure that I was fully recovered, you know, from Guardian Con and all that stuff before we took a jump back into it. Love and appreciate all of you, and I will talk to you next time. Peace.